New year, new you, right? Except it's gonna be the same old you unless you do something about it. If you don't take control over your mind, you will not be able to reinvent yourself like everyone is telling you. Listen, I'm just a messenger. Don't hate me, hate the game. Last December, I posted a video on some major concepts that I was introduced to and learned in therapy. I really enjoy talking about this topic because therapy is arguably one of those things that has changed my life forever and for the better. It wasn't smooth sailing. It wasn't one of those things that happened immediately. It definitely was a journey. I'm not even seeing the same therapist that I started seeing way back then, but still, therapy has changed my life. When you make the decision to do this for you, and you are intentional with it, wow, it's life-changing. Someone posted a comment on my last video asking how I got started and how to choose the right therapist. So in today's video, I'm going to break it all down. How to get started with therapy 101. You ready? Let's go. Step number 1, know your why. Why do you want therapy? Is it because you hear everybody else talk about it on the internet? I think you need to be very clear as to why you want therapy and what you hope to achieve through therapy. And of course, this doesn't mean that you need to know exactly where you want to go, but you need to have an idea as to what you want out of therapy. Personally, I have reached a point in my life where I was just very frustrated with myself, with the relationships in my life, and I wanted to master my emotions. I actually posted a whole YouTube video crying on Beyonce's internet because I was just so overwhelmed. I knew I needed help to sort through my thoughts, and I knew I needed help when it came to the emotional intelligence piece. Between you and I, emotionally speaking, girl, I was a mess. And I know there's so much in this world that I don't know. So I knew getting help to help me navigate the space would have been the best thing for me. When I was serious about therapy, I sat down and made a list of all the things I wanted help with. And I did this because I wanted to find someone that would match exactly what I was looking for. Therapy is a very personal thing. So if you're not clear as to where you want to go and what you need help with, it's going to make the journey and the process much harder on you and the therapist. But at the end of the day, you're paying them. So you better be sure that you're clear as to where you want to go and what you want them to do. And that leads me to the second point. Do your research. Using your extensive list in step 1, look into a therapist that will best match your needs and your preferences. Do you need help with anger management, childhood traumas, behavioral issues? Listen, I'm not here to judge. And maybe you don't even know which direction you want to go into. You just know that something's not right. So look into someone that kind of fits the needs and the preference or the help that you're looking for, just so you have a better idea if they are going to be a good match. I think this step is so important and one that we overlook, because at the end of the day, if you're going to hire someone to help you and you're clear as to where you want to go, it's best to make sure that they specialize in the areas that you need help. You know what I'm saying? BetterHelp does an amazing job, by the way, at helping you do this, and they're sponsoring this segment of the video. BetterHelp makes starting therapy much easier and definitely a lot less intimidating for a lot of people. With BetterHelp, you can have therapy sessions as a phone call, a video chat, or even messaging. Whatever's the most comfortable form of therapy for you. And honestly, whatever works best for your schedule. I know for me, I'm a new mom and I'm a baby, and I do therapy at home. No, girl, I don't leave the house. They have over 30,000 therapists in their network based on your preferences, your needs, and your location, which give you access to a lot more therapists than you would have if you were just looking in your city. To get started, you fill out a questionnaire, and they're gonna ask you questions about challenges that you're facing and what kind of therapist that you like. And then BetterHelp does the rest. It's that easy. And they're also quick. In most cases, you'll be matched with a therapist within 48 hours. And of course, you can schedule your sessions at a time that is most convenient for you and your schedule. And this is the good part. If you feel like your therapist is not a good fit, you can break up with them easily at a click of a button. No questions asked, no ifs, buts, and maybes. You get somebody else. And you also don't have to search for someone else all over again, which makes it very convenient. Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a happier, healthier life. So click the link in the description box to get started, or visit betterhelp.com/Jen Jackson to get a nice little sweet discount and to get started. Clicking the link, of course, helps support my channel, but like I said, you get a sweet little discount on your first month of your BetterHelp service, and see if it helps you. To be transparent, I haven't used BetterHelp myself, but my process of finding a therapist was very similar. I wanted a Black therapist. Listen, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. And I also wanted someone who was well-versed in helping people deal with anxiety, finding their life purpose, stress, and like I said earlier, emotional intelligence. I wanted to understand what was going on with me because I felt like I was just reacting to things. I was being triggered right and left without really understanding why. Where was it coming from? Why was I acting this way? I really wanted clarity. So I was very specific with who I was looking for. And the step that I'm listing in this video is exactly how I went about finding my therapist. And we're still vibing to this day, almost 3 years later. I love that our sessions are virtual, so I don't even need to leave the house. And over the years, we've been able to dig even deeper. And now I'm dealing with things that I didn't even know I needed help with. So the original list that I had when I started therapy, I feel like I've already gone through it. We made goals, we tackled them. I was able to figure out a lot about Jen, a lot about the things that I was doing that was contributing to my unhappiness. And now we've moved on from there and we created new goals. That's why I feel like it's so difficult. You are digging things up that are affecting you today, and you don't even really realize that it's the things that happened 10, 20 years ago that are affecting you, but they're very difficult to face. It's uncomfortable. It's very raw. But once you deal with them and you start to realize how you are moving differently today versus how you used to move versus the things that you used to do, that is the joy in therapy. I promise you, being able to see the growth, to compare who you used to be a couple of years ago to today and how you're moving differently. And I'm not saying that in a toxic way, because I feel like social media have used therapy almost as a weapon. Oh, I'm in therapy now, so I am not gonna be bothered with this person. Like, we can deal with things where the intention is quite toxic versus being genuine with our interactions and really coming from a place of love, a place of grace, a place of understanding. No, I'm not going to allow someone to take advantage of me, and I'm not going to handle it in a way where I need to be nasty to them. No, I'm assertive. I'm going to speak up for myself, but I'm gonna do it in the gentlest way possible. I'm gonna kill you with kindness, okay? Step number 3 is to reevaluate the relationship consistently. After a few sessions with your therapist, I think it's very wise to reevaluate the relationship, see where you are, if you still vibe, and if they understand where you want to go. Ultimately, they need to understand you and make you feel comfortable enough to keep sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. A lot of times I hear people say that therapy did not work for me, and I always wonder, therapy didn't work out for you, or it wasn't a great match with your therapist? And how many times have you actually tried? It's like saying food did not work for me because you didn't like the restaurant that we went to. And I think opening up to a complete stranger is something that a lot of us struggle with. Hell, we don't even want to open up with the people in our lives. How many times do we cover up what's really going on with us? Hey, are you okay? I'm fine. And you're not fine. And imagine opening up to a complete stranger. It's difficult. A lot of the times, and myself included too, we put our best foot forward when it comes to talking to people, talking to a therapist, and we don't want to be judged, you know, but the reality is that it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to take some time for you to see results. And it's also very possible that you need to see a different therapist that understand you better, that vibe with you better. I know for me, the reason why I wanted a Black therapist this time around is because the therapists that I had seen previously, they didn't really understand the cultural differences and challenges when it comes to navigating this world as an immigrant child, as a Black woman. I'm Haitian, and Haitian people, okay, we're very specific with how we go through life. So I wanted someone that at the very least had an understanding of that dynamic, being from the Caribbean. The therapist that I'm seeing today is actually my 4th one. The one that I had before, I wasn't ready. The very first therapist that I talked to, it was right after my dad passed away, and I was completely shut off and closed off to the world. So I didn't really give her a chance. Definitely, that one was on me. B, I learned something new with the other 2 therapists that I had seen, but again, I felt like there was a bit of a disconnect in terms of the cultural differences, the cultural challenges that I was going through. So of course, with this particular therapist, once I was very intentional intentional with who I wanted to see, then I found someone that met my needs but also understood me on a cultural level. So if you're making this decision as an adult that you want to explore therapy, make sure that you were clear as to what you need help with. Match your list with a therapist that's going to understand your needs, and reevaluate the relationship. Is it going well? Are they understanding me? Do they get where I want to go? Are they helping me when I share the things that I need help with? Those are the basic steps when it comes to therapy. And I think if you're intentional with it and you follow these steps, you, my friend, will be on your way to living a healthier, happier, peaceful life, especially up there. Peace in the mind. Wow, it's something that I didn't even know I needed until I got it. So if you want to do things differently this year, reinvent your life, if you will, then it's time to take action and be intentional with the way that you're living and be intentional with your growth. Do not leave growth up to chance in 2024. We're not doing that. You can click the link in the description box, or you can visit betterhelp.com/Jen Jackson to get your little discount and to start living a peaceful, intentional life. That's what I want for you this year. Like I said, clicking the link in my bio does help my channel, so don't be shy. But it can ultimately be the first step to you living a healthier, happy life. So that's a win-win in my book. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it gave you at least a little roadmap on how to get started. I know it's very difficult for us to get started with therapy, especially if you're like me. If you're Haitian, wow, we are so closed off when it comes to therapy. Therapy equals crazy in my world, okay? So me even talking about therapy, and I tell my entire family, I'm like, y'all need therapy. You need to see a therapist. I tell everybody that I know. But the fact that I have taken the step and I've seen the progress that it's made in my life, the change that it's made in my life, and I see how different it's been seeking therapy while I was very intentional with the fact that I wanted therapy. I was ready at that point. It wasn't like the times before where I was very closed off. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. My very first experience with therapy, actually school made me do it, because like I said, it was around the time where my father passed away, and they gave all of us access to a therapist. All of us meaning Haitian students. So of course I went, but girl, I wasn't talking to her. I wasn't doing nothing. It was literally a waste of time. So don't be like that. If you want to go to therapy, know that it takes work from both sides, and you're gonna have to share. You're gonna have to be open. And if you come with your list saying, hey, this is what I need help with, and you're ready, I feel like the relationship is going to be a great one. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. And girl, if you have any questions around therapy, any more videos that you want me to make around this topic, it's one of my favorite ones. Don't be shy. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.